Record juga ya, Pak?
Ya, go ahead.
Oke, bentar. Masukin semuanya dulu. Selamat siang Bapak Ibu rekan-rekan semua, saya Amanda MC pada kegiatan kita siang ini. Mohon bersabar menunggu peserta yang lain, tetap pastikan mic Anda dalam posisi mute selama kegiatan berlangsung. Kita akan memulai 5 menit lagi.
Although a lot's changed in the last 15 years, our mission remains the same as it was back in the very beginning, and that was to make cloud computing simple, affordable, and accessible to everyone to help foster innovation.
This is the philosophy that we started the company with. We wanted to be homegrown, authentic, genuine service. We're not here just to collect a paycheck. We want to mean something to all of our customers.
Linode exists because we want to provide a platform for people to just build cool stuff. Whether it's your cat blog or whether it's your company, we just want to be part of helping you create your vision, no matter what it is.
Our roots are deeply ingrained in Linux, and a lot of the philosophies of the open source movement are represented in the service that we offer and definitely in the culture that we have.
Customers choose Linode for a lot of reasons. The price is great. The transparency of our service. We give you full access to do whatever you want with all of your servers.
Although a lot's changed in the last 15 years, our mission remains the same as it was back in the very beginning, and that was to make cloud computing simple, affordable, and accessible to everyone to help foster innovation.
This is the philosophy that we started the company with. We wanted to be homegrown, authentic, genuine service. We're not here just to collect a paycheck. We want to mean something to all of our customers.
Linode exists because we want to provide a platform for people to just build cool stuff. Whether it's your cat blog or whether it's your company, we just want to be part of helping you create your vision, no matter what it is.
Our roots are deeply ingrained in Linux, and a lot of the philosophies of the open source movement are represented in the service that we offer and definitely in the culture that we have.
Customers choose Linode for a lot of reasons. The price is great. The transparency of our service. We give you full access to do whatever you want with all of your servers. We're reliable. We've been here a long time. People choose Linode because of the products that we offer. We give you all these different things that you can do to help build and scale with you. We see a lot of people start at our smallest plan and grow and grow and grow and add node balancers as you need them and add backups as you need them and add storage as you need it. So we provide all the tools to scale with you.
From day one, we've tried to maintain customer service as a huge differentiator for us. Customers that call in, whether it's a support ticket or on the phone, they're going to get the answer from the first technician they speak to.
And it just was a common sense approach. Nothing beats first response resolution. Nothing beats a no-tiered customer service department.
It's something that we actually care about. It's something that drives us. It's something that motivates us. It's a passion to us to help solve people's problems.
Because we value simplicity, our pricing model is meant to be simple and predictable and transparent. You're not going to have any surprises. We bundle the resources together. It's a flat capped fee for each type of service that we offer.
We look for the best bang for the buck. We want to be able to deliver that affordability to the customer but still maintain performance.
We're here to enable and to empower our customers, and their success is our success. So the more we can help them, the better off everybody is. Although a lot's changed in the last 15 years, our mission remains the same as it was back in the very beginning, and that was to make cloud computing simple, affordable, and accessible to everyone to help foster innovation.
This is the philosophy that we started the company with. We wanted to be homegrown, authentic, genuine service. We're not here just to collect a paycheck. We want to mean something to all of our customers.
LINODE exists because we want to provide a platform for people to just build cool stuff. Whether it's your cat blog or whether it's your company, we just want to be part of helping you create your vision, no matter what it is.
Our roots are deeply ingrained in Linux, and a lot of the philosophies of the open source movement are represented in the service that we offer and definitely in the culture that we have.
Customers choose LINODE for a lot of reasons. The price is great. The transparency of our service. We give you full access to do whatever you want with all of your servers. We're reliable. We've been here a long time. People choose LINODE because of the products that we offer. We give you all these different things that you can do to help build and scale with you. We see a lot of people start at our smallest plan and grow and grow and grow and add node balancers as you need them and add backups as you need them and add storage as you need it. So we provide all the tools to scale with you.
From day one, we've tried to maintain customer service as a huge differentiator for us. Customers that call in, whether it's a support ticket or on the phone, they're going to get the answer from the first technician they speak to.
And it just was a common sense approach. Nothing beats first response resolution. Nothing beats a no-tiered customer service department.
It's something that we actually care about. It's something that drives us. It's something that motivates us. It's a passion to us to help solve people's problems.
Because we value simplicity, our pricing model is meant to be simple and predictable and transparent. You're not going to have any surprises. We bundle the resources together. It's a flat capped fee for each type of service that we offer.
We look for the best bang for the buck. We want to be able to deliver that affordability to the customer, but still maintain performance.
We're here to enable and to empower our customers, and their success is our success. So the more we can help them, the better off everybody is.
Selamat siang Bapak Ibu rekan-rekan para Digital Transformation Captain. Kita akan memulai rangkaian acara webinar kita. Terima kasih atas kehadirannya. Dalam kesempatan yang baik ini, kita akan membahas tema mengenai Start Your Cloud Journey with LINODE. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining our webinar series. Today, we will discuss about Start Your Cloud Journey with LINODE. Kegiatan ini didukung oleh Aptiknas, Asosiasi Pengusaha Teknologi Informasi dan Komunikasi Nasional, serta IAIS, Indonesia Artificial Intelligence Society. Diadakan oleh Vencerdas, One Stop Digital Transformation e-Services. Didukung juga oleh media partner biscom.web.id, portal teknologi informasi, komunikasi, dan hukum. This event is supported by Aptiknas, Indonesia ICT Business Association, Vencerdas, One Stop Digital Transformation e-Services, and biscom.web.id, IT and Law Portal. Hari ini kami akan mendengarkan dari Mr. Yin Chaolong, Solution Architect dari Akamai. Sebelum kita memulai webinar, kita akan mendengarkan opening speech dari Pak Christian Chandra, Major Account Executive dari Akamai. Silakan Pak Christian.
Ya, terima kasih. Salam kenal semua kepada Bapak Ibu peserta dari webinar ini. Perkenalkan, saya Christian Chandra sebagai Major Account Executive dari Akamai. Saya di sini ingin sedikit memberikan informasi bahwa Akamai sekarang sudah mempunyai layanan cloud, di mana kita mengakuisisi LINODE. Yang tadi mungkin kalau Bapak Ibu sudah melihat dari videonya, LINODE itu sudah berdiri dari tahun 2004, dan kita mempunyai misi sebagai cloud yang simple, basic, serta memberikan dari sisi price yang sangat affordable. Makanya di sini kita ingin memberikan pemaparan secara teknis dan secara business wise juga kepada Bapak Ibu, dan saya ingin mengajak juga ke Bapak Ibu untuk menggunakan LINODE sebagai alternatif dari cloud provider di luar sana ya. Ya, mungkin itu saja dari saya. Terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih Pak Christian. Webinar ini akan dimoderator oleh Funky Christian selaku Ketua Aptiknas DKI Jakarta. This webinar will be moderated by Funky Christian as Regional Chairman of Aptiknas Jakarta. Silakan Pak Funky.
Ya, baik. Terima kasih Amanda. Selamat siang Bapak Ibu rekan-rekan. Senang sekali kembali kita bisa bertemu di webinar rutin kita di setiap Kamis siang. Dan ini merupakan seri penutup dari Building Better Infrastructures yang kita adakan di bulan September ini ya. Nah, di sesi terakhir ini kita akan bicara tentang Cloud Infrastructures. Nah, yang menarik tadi sudah disampaikan oleh Pak Christian Chandra bahwa Akamai mengakuisisi LINODE ya, di Februari 2022 ini kalau saya nggak salah. Jadi mengapa diakuisisi ini pasti ada mengapanya gitu ya. Kenapa Akamai yang namanya begitu besar mereka masuk juga ke bisnis cloud infrastructure ya. Oke, nanti sesi kita akan dibawakan dalam bahasa Inggris oleh Yin Chao Leong dari LINODE ya, selaku Solution Architects ya. Nanti sebelum kita dengarkan, jadi saya ingin sekali teman-teman juga aware bahwa sekarang ini perkembangan cloud ya sangat meningkat sangat tajam, terutama di 2 tahun ini di masa pandemi ini penggunaan cloud luar biasa besar sekali gitu ya. Dan memang pemerintah kita memang juga telah menggunakan ya fasilitas cloud dan juga mendukung banyak perusahaan, instansi bisa menggunakan fasilitas cloud. Nah, yang menarik nanti juga kita akan lihat kenapa LINODE ini bisa menjadi pilihan, karena sebetulnya banyak solusi cloud provider global juga yang lain yang sudah ada di Indonesia, tapi tetap LINODE selalu menjadi pilihan ya. Kalau saya nggak salah dengar informasinya 25.000 sudah pengguna LINODE di Indonesia. Jadi ini angka yang luar biasa menarik dan pastinya kenapa nanti itu yang akan kita dengar dari pemaparan ataupun presentasi dari Mr. Yin Xiao ya. Jadi tanpa berlama lagi saya ingin mengundang Mr. Yin Xiao to present the solution, the LINODE for us. After that we do the Q&A session. Kembali seperti biasa, silakan teman-teman apabila ada pertanyaan sampaikan di kolom chat ya. Nanti kita bisa bahasnya di sesi Q&A bersama dengan narasumber kita. Oke, Mr. Yin Xiao, the screen is yours.
Okay, so thank you, Pak Frankie. So, selamat siang semua. So today I want to introduce you to what we call compute at Akamai. So as you know, Akamai is we have a delivery part of it. We also have a security part of it. And today we have our third leg, which is compute. So I will share with you some of our vision, first of all, and then some of LINODE's products, and then why people use LINODE. And then we'll go through a few demos on how to get started with LINODE. And finally, I will show you 2 use cases of how our customers use LINODE today. These are particularly for media use cases. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So first, compute at Akamai. So today, Akamai has few compute products. So the first compute product which Akamai has is what we call EdgeWorkers and HKV. So these are small workloads that can run on Akamai servers that is all over the world. So as you know, Akamai is a very distributed, we have servers, we have very distributed servers in all your ISPs. So we have in 4,000 odd POPs, in 1,368 ISPs, and every of machine in this ISP or at the edge can run a small workload for EdgeWorkers. So that's also part of our compute product. And basically, Edge Compute is made out of EdgeWorkers, which will run the small function as a service. And then we have a database called HKV, and we have some tools to it. So this is usually what we call serverless computing via EdgeWorkers. And each of our thousands of servers will run this JavaScript engine for you to run something small. But we realized that not all workloads can run at the edge. These are for small services. So that's why Akamai has acquired LINODE as well. So these are where you can run larger workloads at the central locations. And today, some facts and figures about LINODE. So it was founded in 2003. And today we have more than 150,000 customers in about 11 data centers. And it's totally built on open source. So you will have a lot of all the open source tools, and we'll have a lot of documents on how to install various tools on our virtual machines. So the vision for Akamai Linode is to be the world's most distributed compute platform from cloud to the edge. So at the edge, we have the edge workers and edge KV, which runs a small workload like function as a service, serverless compute. And then today we have the core, which have the full compute plus storage in 11 regions. And going forward, Akamai will be expanding this to various distributed regions into the hundreds. And these distributed regions will have both VMs and containers for you to run your workloads. And these are some of the roadmap. So today we have 11 data centers, and we have some coming soon, and we are exploring a lot more, including in Jakarta. So Akamai plus Linode will offer the best of both worlds, of both the cloud hyperscalers as well as the alternative clouds. And when you go to Akamai, you can secure, deliver, and run your compute workloads across the whole continuum from the edge to the core. So you have at the edge, we have serverless as well as all our unified security performance, which is totally cloud agnostic. In the distributed regions, you can run your VMs and containers. And at the core, we have bigger regions that can run even bigger workloads and as well as more services. So now I will move to the main part of the presentation, which is overview of Linode products. So let me go to the overview of the Linode products. So first, our main product will be the compute, storage, and storage. So basically, in the compute, we have different SKUs. And these are some of the different types of computes we offer today. So first one is called shared CPU. And this can have various SKUs. The thing is about that this CPU will be, the trait of each CPU will be shared among different tenants. So for example, if you have maybe quite bursty workloads, which you don't use more than 80% all the time, but now and then maybe shared CPU is good for you. Dedicated CPU is where you have the CPU traits dedicated to you. And here we also have various SKUs for you. So from 2 CPU to 4 to 8 CPUs and various memory together with it. We also have a high memory option. So for the high memory option, basically the ratio of the memory to CPU will be higher. So these might be good for your workloads which needs a lot of memory but not that much CPU. So maybe like in-memory databases and various things. We also have a GPU option where you can have a GPU inside your VM. A GPU is what we call a graphics processing unit. So the GPU we offer you today will be the Quadro RTX 6000. And you can have 1 to 4 GPU in a single VM. So this might be good for things like training maybe AI models, or maybe like video encoding and processing. We also have a managed service. So this is more like a PaaS called LINODE Kubernetes Engine. So this is where you can spin up a Kubernetes cluster, but the control nodes, the master nodes will be managed by Linode. You can of course spin up everything yourself on VMs, then you manage your own master nodes and worker nodes. So those are the compute products. For the storage products, we have block storage. So these are attached to the VMs. And today, a lot of our block storage are on NVMe, which is very, very fast. We also have object storage. Our object storage is for large sort of storage. And these are like totally AWS S3 compatible with the same API. So you could use all your same S3 libraries and tools with Linode object storage. And we have backups as well. So this will take backups from our VMs at some scheduled intervals. And on the networking side, we also have things like load balancer, like you heard in the video, right? So load balancer will help you balance the load between different backend Linodes, the VMs itself. And today, which we just launched within this year, something called managed databases. And this comes in few flavors. So a managed database is where you let Linode spin up the cluster for you, so you can have it in one node or if you want high availability, in 3 nodes. And Linode will manage the upgrading of the software and all that for you. So we have it in 3 flavors today. First is MySQL, second is PostgreSQL, and the third is in MongoDB. So these are some of the Linode products. For networking, we also have something called VLAN. So this is like within one region, if you want your traffic to be private between various Linodes, we can have a VLAN between them. And we also have a firewall to protect some of your VMs as well. So here's an example of how your multi-cloud architecture look like. So today, a lot of people who go to the cloud want to go to a multi-cloud architecture. So rather than just use one cloud, they don't want to be locked in to just one cloud. So this is where Linode can complement other clouds as well. So for example, you might have a lot of your workloads on AWS and some specialized workloads on Google Cloud, maybe for workloads leveraging AI ML. But other workloads like dev test, disaster recovery, or high egress bandwidth can be run on Linode. Why high egress bandwidth? Because Linode itself, when you spin up VM, we will give you very generous free egress bandwidth. So for example, you spin up the small Linode, you will get what we call nano, you will get 1 terabyte, but you spin up something bigger, you might even get, for the biggest size, you might get 12 terabytes. So now that we know what are Linode offerings, we want to let you know why people choose Linode. So Linode has been consistently rated top IaaS provider. IaaS means infrastructure as a service provider by what we call trusted review websites. So these are 2 trusted review websites, G2 and TrustRadius. It has ranked Linode the #1 infrastructure service provider with a score of 95, even higher than AWS. And across all these categories, so like ease of use, best usability, users most likely to recommend, momentum leader, easiest setup. So based upon all this, we were ranked #1 for the IaaS service provider. So, and one of them is because people think it's very simple to use. So we offer the core primitives of compute, storage, and some managed databases. And it's very easy to set up, and I will show you later. And then ease of use also, we score very high. So here ease of setup 9.1, the average is 8.4. And ease of use, we score 9.2, whereas the average is 8.7. We also offer transparent pricing, like you heard in the video just now. So it's the same pricing for all the regions. And it's just one fixed monthly pricing. So it's very easy to understand. And later, when I show you, you'll see that we have a very intuitive UI called Cloud Manager to set up your Linode. We also have an API, which is very easy to get started with, and a CLI as well. And we have extensive documentation on how to do a lot of things, on how to install a lot of open source software on Linode. We do have documentation for that. So the simplicity of it is what people like and why people use Linode. The next point is about affordability. So Linode, compared with other cloud service providers, offers 50% or more cheaper price. So here's an example of a Linode CPU dedicated to virtual CPUs, 4 gig RAM, 80 gig SSD, versus AWS 2 virtual CPU, compute optimized C5 large, 4 GB RAM, and also 80 GB SSD. So Linode is $30 a month, and AWS is $70. So this is more than half the savings. And if you compare various others as well, Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba, we are still cheaper. In addition to that, we give generous free transfer, like I mentioned. So other cloud providers, any egress to a different region will be charged. And so we will, but together with a Linode VM that you spin up, you will get some very generous free transfer. And this free transfer can be combined together. Let's say you spin up 2 Linode, each one has 5 terabytes. It can be combined together to be 10 terabytes. So you can use it now. So you can have 10 terabytes of free transfer. And we have that predictable pricing as well. The next thing is the good support and great support available. So again, from the trusted review website, we score 9.4 on quality of support, whereas the average is 8.8. And here are some comments from customers. Great service and helpful support, rock solid support for almost 2 decades, and good value too. So it's 100% human. We have a telephone you can reach worldwide 24/7 by 365, award-winning, and all are certified Linux administrators. So to summarize, why people choose Linode? First of all, this is simplicity. Second, this is best price per performance. And third is because of its best support. So that is why people choose to use Linode. Now we'll move on to getting started with Linode. So here I will transfer to the Cloud Manager interface, but first I'll go through some slides first. So we have extensive documentation. It's under this URL, linode.com/docs. And you can see we have products, we have guides, API, marketplace, blog, resources, Q&A. So under this, there's a lot of documentations. And I will show you later. And then this is the Cloud Manager interface, the UI for you to do everything on your Linode. So on the left, we have the menu where you can start up Linodes, volumes, node balancers, databases, Kubernetes, and various things. And once I transfer to the browser, I will show you how to do each of these. So let me transfer to the browser first. So this is our Linode interface. So on the left, we see the menu. So Linodes are the VMs. Volumes is your block storage. Node balancers, the load balancers. Firewall is the firewalls. And then we have databases, the managed databases. Kubernetes, this is your managed Kubernetes engine. And we have a marketplace of apps where you can select it and you will be installed on your Linode directly. So these are all usually open source app, but some of it might entail a license as well. So let's start a Linode first. You can see how easy is it to create a Linode. So you go to Linodes first, and then when we press create Linode, we can choose first of all the distribution. So we have all the open source Linux distribution from CentOS to Debian to Fedora, Gentoo, and we have Kali Linux. So for example, if you do a lot of pen testing and everything, you can even spin up a Kali Linux if you are in the security industry. So you know that Kali Linux will have a huge number of set of tools for you to help you do, let's say, pen testing. And we have various others as well. So we have Ubuntu, popular, so I'll choose Ubuntu. If you don't, you can go to the marketplace as well to choose one of the apps. But let me choose Ubuntu for here. Then you select a region. So I mentioned we have 11 regions. So we choose Singapore. And then you choose one of the plans. So just now I said we have dedicated CPU, shared CPU, high memory, and the GPU option. So today I just want to start something small. I choose Nanode. So the small one we call Nanode, and you can see it's 1 gig RAM, 1 CPU, 25 gig storage, and this is your free transfer, 1 terabyte. So it goes from 1 terabyte to 20 terabytes in the shared CPU. We go Nanode. Then after that, we can put a label here. You can put some text if you wish, and then you can set the root password. If you don't want to put a root password, you can upload your SSH key here. And you can add a VLAN if you want. And I mentioned there's a backup, so you can add backups, which cost $2 per month. And if you want a private IP, because you want to talk between Linodes, you also can have it here. Once that is done, you just press create Linode. Okay, password does not meet the complexity requirements. Press create Linode. And this will cost $5 a month. And then as you can see, it will be provisioned. You can SSH to it. you get a public IP, or you can go via the Leash console, which is like a web-based console. So that's how easy it is to start a Linode. So the next thing I wanted to show you was the firewall. So after you started the Linode, you want to protect it, you could create a firewall. And then you can put a name for it. And then we can put it on here, let's say even Shadas. And then we can create the firewall, and then you can put rules within it. Click into it, add an inbound rule. Maybe I just want this as a web server, so I just use HTTP rule. Then I add the rule. And also HTTPS. And that's it. So you get your firewall. The next thing I want to show was object storage. Didn't save it. Okay, I save it. So object storage is like your S3 storage. And here I have two object storage. And it goes by buckets. So I can just create a bucket. Again, I will create here. Put it in a specific region, Singapore, and press create bucket. You can make it public if you want. Authenticated read, public read, or public read write. If it's private and let's say you want to give access to other people, then you would need to have an access key. So you can create an access key. If you want limited access, you can give, or you can give all access and create a new key for that. So that is for your object storage. And this is totally S3 compatible. So I will just show you. I can install this S3 command, which has I will use the same S3 command for me to configure via the command line. So I will just put my interface here. So I've already installed my S3 command. How to install it? You can just say brew install S3 command. So this will let you send S3 commands to list, to add objects or whatever to my my Linode object storage. So I can go S3 command list. And I have two of it. The Ivan Chedas, which I just created just now. So I go S3 command list, S3 to see the objects within it. And these are my objects within this DS2 bucket. So as you can see, this is totally compatible with S3 API. And the next thing I wanted to show you was the databases. So this is what we call the managed database. So we can create a database cluster. Sure does. And I told you we had these few flavors, right? MySQL, Postgres. And then I can choose, let's say, Postgres. Select a region, Singapore. And then we can choose the type of nodes that will be running this. So we can have dedicated or shared. We choose a small one. And we can have either one node or three nodes. So for high ability, it's recommended to use 3 nodes. And then you can add an IP that is allowed to communicate it. For now, I won't. So I'll press create database cluster. It will take 15 to 30 minutes to provision. And that's it. And once it's provisioned, you have your username, password, and how to connect to your host. So you can put this within your application itself. And then you can use this username and password to connect to your database. So those are for databases. And the next thing I would like to show is the Linode Kubernetes engine. So this is basically this is a managed Kubernetes service. So I can create a Kubernetes cluster here. The master nodes will be managed by Linode. So let me create a cluster. You just go event Shadas. Again, select the region. Choose your Kubernetes version. So 1.23 is available. And then choose your node pool. Each node pool can only be one type of SKU. So, but you can have multiple node pools. So you can have, let's say, shared CPU, the small one. If I want another one, another node pool, I can add, and so on and so forth. So I'll just add a small one. I also can enable HA control plane. So these are the master nodes that's run by Linode. And if you want high availability, it can be redundant by clicking this. So it's an additional $60 a month. For now, I won't click this. And then once I start it, I'll press create cluster. And that's it. So this takes a bit of time as well to create. So I will just go to the one which I've already created. Once it's created, you can download the kube config. So the kube config will be the way you interact with the API server. So that's been created, and this one I created earlier. And you can download it. And after that, you can download the kube kettle tool, which is a command line tool, and you can use this to access as an admin to your API server. And here you can see I have one node pool. I can add additional node pool if I wish to this cluster. And for this node pool, I can also do auto scale. So it's part of the Kubernetes feature set. We can auto scale a node pool. We can do auto scaler from minimum to how many maximum. So what this means is that if the scheduler is unable to schedule a pod on one of these nodes because it's full or whatever, will automatically start a new node. So we can auto scale. I also can resize the pool if I wish, and so on and so forth. So that is for the node autoscaler. And we can see how to connect to this cluster and install some applications. So from the command line, find the right command line first. So I can, for example, I can just, first of all, I need to export this kube config. So it will be enabled within my this kubectl command line. And I go kubectl config. So I get the context. And this will be the LKE cluster, which I just started 74447, as you can see. So I can have full control of it now, installing apps and so on and so forth. So that is for the Kubernetes. So that's the very quick overview of the various Linode products. So let's go back to the slides now. So besides these two, we also have, besides the Cloud Manager, which is the UI, we also have an API. If you want to use, create things programmatically. And we also have the CLI. And these are very easy to use. So you just need to create a token. And we today support various infrastructure as code tools. So today, best practice, of course, if you codify a lot of this infrastructure setup. And we have, for example, a Terraform provider, and you can use Ansible, Pulumi, Chef, and all that. And it's all documented within the Linode docs. So I'll show you. So this is the Linode docs, which I said just now. And you can see we have a lot of documentation from storage, databases, compute, products, and various things. So guides will be like general guides for a lot of different applications. Let's say big data, how to install Kafka, and a lot of things. So as you can see, we have a very extensive documentation. So for getting started with the API, you just need to go to here, create an API token. And once you create an API token, you can just use that in the authorization header and then call the API. So it's as easy as that. And now we go to some use cases before the Q&A. So We go back to the slides. So here are some media use cases. So this is an example of some of our customers where we use what we call encoding and packaging on Linode for OTT streaming. So here I'll demo two specific software, Atem and ScaleStream. So if you, let's say you want to stream a content, whether live or video on demand, you need to encode and package it so that it's the right format to be streamed. So for example, you have a live video source, maybe from a satellite or from some other service, right? Some other content provider. You can stream it on a software that's running on Linode to encode it. So encode it means to compress it into various bit rates. So let's say the live source might be very high bit rate that is not suitable to be transferred over the internet. So it might be coming in at 20, 40, 50 megabits per second. And then you can encode it into various small bit rates, let's say 500 kilobits, 1 megabyte, 2 megabits, 3 megabits per second to be streamed via what we call adaptive bit rate to the end user. So they will use their handphone or their laptop to view the thing. And then we can package it into various different streaming formats like HLS or Dash. And of course, we will be going through Akamai CDN to be streamed to the client. But the encoder and packager can be run on Linode. And here's one example of an encoder and packager running on Linode. So this is called Atem Titan Live. And here we set up one channel, demo channel. And if you go to this software, how to configure it. So we have one input. So these inputs can be via UDP, SRT, and various things. After that, from these inputs, we can choose which track we want to be encoded. So after we choose, so there's one video and one audio track here. So from the video track here, we are going to encode it into various, what we call bit rates. So 500 kilobits per second, 800 kilobits per second, 1.5 megabits per second, 3 megabits per second, and 5 megabits per second. So what this means is that all these bit rates are available to the end user. And this is what we call OTT streaming, adaptive bit rate streaming. So the end user client will pick the bit rate that's appropriate for his connection. For the audio, we only have one encoded audio bitrate, which is 96 kilobit per second. And here we encode it to HLS output. And if I play this for you, let me just use my Safari as a HLS player. So you can see it play. So this is being played from my Linode instance using this Atem software. And the next example is also another media use case. This is for packaging. So packaging is where we convert it to the various streaming formats. And here we have another software called ScaleStream that's also running on Linode, which some of our customers are using to convert pre-encoded WAV files to HLS or Dash dynamically. And then, of course, goes through Akamai AMD to the client. And then I have it here as well. So this is also running on Linode. And here we can have various packaging. So these are the source, whether it's Nginx or net storage, Akamai net storage. You will pull the clips from here and then package it dynamically. You can put DRM, subtitles, and all that for the client to use. So these are two examples. And with that, we reach the Q&A portion. So thank you. And I'll hand over back to Pak Frankie.
Yeah, thank you, Inchao. So I think we already got some and many questions, yeah, on the chat box. Let me read it to you. Yeah. Number one is from Pak Martin Kurniadi. When the Linode will launch the cloud data center in Indonesia?
So it's on the plan now. I don't have the exact date, but maybe within 2023.
Yeah, next year, yeah.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. So it's being investigated. Yeah, but no confirmed date yet.
Yeah. But I think you should, yeah, because it's one of
definitely,
the
yeah. Also, yeah, we are looking really hard at it. That's right. Yeah, there's high possibility. Yeah.
Okay, good. Next year, okay. Pak Martin Kurniadi itu pertanyaannya. Kemudian Pak Muhammad Maulana, how the procedure or method in LINODE related to the usage of the cloud. I mean the cost of the cloud, yeah. In some other cloud provider, there will be capabilities to maintain the cost of the cloud usage. In Chao.
Yeah, so LINODE itself is very simple, right? It's so simple for you to know how much you're going to spend. So each LINODE, when you spin it up, it's just a flat monthly fee, and it's the same flat monthly fee across all regions. So you spin up a node, you're going to be charged $5 a month, and then that's it. Yeah, you don't have to calculate anything specific or anything how you're going to be charged. Yeah, so that's very simple for you to understand. Yeah.
So it means that it's only monthly based.
Yeah.
If the usage is more than the target, is it possible or not?
No. Once you spin up the LINODE, you'll be charged $5, let's say, this per month, and then of course you run your workload, whatever. So the only charge will be on the LINODE itself that you spun up. Yeah, the VM itself.
Yeah, it means that because in other cloud provider that they can. It's not automatically upgrade, but if the usage more than the target for that month, for example, monthly usage, it can be up, and it can be, it also troublesome, right? Because the invoice is different with what we have target before, right?
Yeah. It's hard to understand, right? Why you are charged this. So that's why people like LINODE, because it's so simple to understand, right? So
okay.
You spun up one LINODE, and that's all. You spun up, you'll be charged this monthly fee at the end of the month. No surprises or whatever.
Yeah. Oke. Itu ya Pak Muhammad Maulana. Jadi kalau kita ngambil langsung paketnya fix gitu ya, itu yang bedanya LINODE dengan yang lain. Kalau yang lain kan mungkin angkanya bisa up and down gitu ya. Kalau di LINODE ya sesuai dengan yang kita pilih gitu ya layanannya. Jadi itu dia sebabnya mungkin ini ya. Tapi sih jadi ingin bertanya nih, teman-teman yang sudah pakai LINODE boleh bisa di chat gak ya, di kolom chat saya atau sudah pakai gitu, ya atau belum. Coba saya ingin lihat responnya dulu nih ya. Berapa yang sudah pernah pakai LINODE? Yang sudah pernah pakai LINODE, silakan di kolom chat bilang ya, sudah pernah pakai. Sudah ada yang pernah pakai LINODE sekarang? Yang sekarang sudah pakai, oke, Pak Imam belum. Yang lain? Silakan, kalau yang sudah pakai, Pak Joni belum. Saya ingin tahu dulu ya. Sorry ya, Yincau ya, let me do some quick poll ya, to see how many person know about the LINODE actually. Okay, mostly the people answer not yet. Okay. Yeah, not yet. Okay, good. Because what I heard that the users of the Pak Rianto just know. Okay, it means some of them is recently know about the product of the LINODE solution. Yeah, is good. Okay, back to the question ya. Pak Hardi Agung Wibowo. What is the difference advantage LINODE compared to other competitor? What is the nearest cloud data center that LINODE has nearest to Indonesia? Yeah.
Okay, so first the difference is, like I think I mentioned just now, right? That the three things why people use this. First of all, is simplicity, ease of use.
Simplicity, right?
Yeah, you can easily get up, easily to understand. You don't have to click through so many menus. If let's say today you want to start up a LINODE, you can just few clicks and you're done. Second one is the price performance, right? So I showed you some things like the price for an equivalent LINODE is cheaper than the rest of the other thing. And thirdly is the support available. So we have an award-winning support. We have a phone number you can call 24/7 support. So those three things. Where is the nearest? So today is in Singapore, and just now we had a question, right? We are coming to Jakarta soon as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, jadi because Pak Martin related to the Singapore, yeah, Singapore. So the nearest in Singapore, yeah.
Yeah, for now lah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me check. Pak Martin, let's say I have a node in region Singapore as a main. How to set up a backup node in other region? Is it possible, Lin Chao?
Of course, it's possible. So Linode, we are an infrastructure as a service provider. So you can spin up another Linode in another region. And then depending on your application or whatever, then you can either, so let's take an example, right? Maybe PostgreSQL. So PostgreSQL let you set up a replica. So you set up one Postgres master in Singapore, you spin up another region in another Linode in Japan, and then you go and put some settings that is replicated to your Japan Linode. So that's at the application layer. And that is depending on your application, your workload, it's for you to configure. So we provide the infrastructure.
Iya, oke. Jadi dengan mudah ya, jadi bisa langsung pilih Linode-nya di ini region yang lain ya sebagai disaster recovery. So when they setting the as a disaster recovery, there will be an option in the service.
Linode, we are providing the infrastructure as a service. That means anything on the OS above the application, the customer like yourself will have to take care of. So the method of disaster recovery, the method of replication and of recovering if there's something failure, it will be at the application layer.
Oh, that it means that it cannot switch automatically, yeah?
It can. It depends on your application, right? I mean, various applications can do it automatically, yeah.
Okay, that's back on the application, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, from Bu Indrajani, is there any free version or free trial to try? Number 2, is there any tutorial? Number 3, what is the what kind of the company that fit to use the Linode solution? Yeah.
So your first question is there a trial? So if you go to the sign up website, you can put your credit card sign up. I think you get some credits. So with that credits, of course you can get some months free. First thing. The second thing is what do you call? Are there any documentation? So you go to www.linode.com/docs I showed you just now. And there's various categories. I think there's thousands of documents on various items, like how to install Kafka, how to install Postgres, how to get started with Cloud Manager. Yeah. So linode.com/docs. Thirdly, what kind of companies? So I think we serve the huge range of companies, right? So people who want to go to the cloud. So from small developers today, because Akamai is, we are also serving large enterprises. So I would say it fits a broad user base from small to large companies for people who want to go to the cloud. So that would be
yeah.
No.
So basically any industry can use the Linode, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Pak Dani Pradana, I think almost the same with Bu Indra, but another question is related to the API. Using the API, what can we do with the Linode?
You can do everything you can do in the Cloud Manager interface I showed you. So it's all available on the API. For example, you want to automatically start up a Linode, you can use the API. You can query what Linodes you have. You want to start a database cluster, you want to start a Kubernetes cluster. So basically, everything you can do in the cloud interface, Cloud Manager, you can do via API as well.
Okay. And also the Linode also provide that API, yeah?
Yes.
To connect to another, yeah.
Cloud Manager, we provide an API and very easy to use. Just create your API key, and also we provide a CLI, a command line interface.
Yeah. Okay, the next question, Pak Iqbal Kurniawan. Let's see, number 1, related to the migration process from different server. Does it require the downtime or it can be done live?
That's very implementation specific to your environment. Yeah. So people can do it live if they provision enough failover or capacity around it. So for example, you could spin up all your Linode environment first, right? And the specifics really depend on what your workloads are. So you could spin up everything run in parallel, put a proxy in front, and as because your new one is already spun up, right? So you can just switch your user across because both environments is up. Yeah. So it really depends on the specific of your workloads and how your architecture is like.
Okay. Okay. The second, is there any automation feature from Linode to protect our data? From example, backup automation and data protection solution from different database servers.
You can install any of these on Linode. So Linode does provide a backup service for for your VMs, but specifically on the database provider software, you got to get from these vendors lah. Like I don't know. I guess there's a lot lah, Cohesity and various other vendors that thing. Yeah. But for the VM image itself, Linode has the backup service. Yeah.
When you select the Linode for sample server, there will be option you want to do that backup, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the number 3. Let's see. Number 3, over time, data will continue to increase and will also definitely have an impact on storage and costs that will be occurred. What is the strategy used to migrate to cloud, but in cost-effective manner by the company?
Oh, sorry. Can you repeat what data?
I think related to the cost increase related to the storage usage in the cloud. Yeah, what is the strategy to migrate to the cloud, but in a cost-effective manner? Yeah, I think Linode is the answer. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first, I would say the first one, of course, find a vendor that is cost-effective for you, like Linode, that provide the best price per performance. So I guess I would say that's a big part of it, like. Yeah.
That's a very interesting terms. Yeah. Cost performance. What do you say?
Price performance. Yeah.
Price performance. Price performance. Okay. Because I think if the people can compare between that 3 global cloud provider, I think the cost of the Linode almost 30%. Yeah. As I recall, 30% cheaper than other, correct or not?
Depending on the thing, but it might be even more lah. So might be 30 to 60% cheaper lah. Depending on the type of VM and how much egress you use, because we give a lot of egress.
30 to
50%.
Wow. Okay.
Depending on how much egress you use, because we give a lot of free egress.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Let me back again. The last question. How about the licensing? Is it included with the existing support, and what kind of monitoring is used?
So licensing, no, we are a IaaS provider. So when you spin up a Linode, we will charge you per month lah. Yeah. So if you use open source software on top of that virtual machine, then depending on that license, so usually it's free. If some of the other vendors you use closed source, then you pay whoever vendor on top that license lah. So just like example, you have a laptop, right? Mac. Today you buy Microsoft Office, right? You pay Microsoft that license lah. You don't pay Apple, right? Yeah. So same thing. We are providing the infrastructure as a service, the VM.
Okay, let's see another question. Pak Arianto, I think this almost the same. How about the Linode can support the hybrid or multi-cloud? Pak Arianto.
Yeah, definitely we support multi-cloud as well, but you need the different construct as well to be able to orchestrate between the different clouds. So one example would be, let's say, Kubernetes multi-cluster, right? So you, on top of it, you could run another software to help you to run the coordinate between your different cluster. So we provide you that infrastructure, and on top of it, you have to use, let's say, maybe a service mesh or whatever to coordinate between the different clouds.
Yeah. The last one, Pak Tegar, does the backup system or redundant system can be used in a single region? I mean, if the backup is stored in another region, will it affect the latency to access the backup?
it's up to you, right? So again, I mentioned we write both the VMs. If you back up to another region, yeah, definitely it might take slightly more latency. But might not even be noticeable, yeah. Depending on your particular use case, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I think it's better LINODE also open next year, in Indonesia, There's better latency now. Even now you're in Singapore, I think the latency is good because normally all the Indonesia traffic internet through the Singapore,
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's wrap up the question, Hinchao. I will pass again to Amanda before we hear your closing remark. Amanda.
Ya, baik Bapak Ibu rekan-rekan, silakan aktifkan video kamera Anda, kita akan foto bersama. Please activate your video camera, we will take a picture together. Oke. Oke, 1, 2, 3. Oke. Sebentar. Oke, satu halaman lagi. 1, 2, 3. Baik, terima kasih. Silakan Pak Funky, kita akan mendengarkan closing remark dari speaker kita.
Ya, Hinchao, please your closing remark.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so thank you all for coming today. Terima kasih rakan-rakan semua kerana datang hadiri dengar tentang LINODE. So I encourage you to think about your cloud journey, to think about how you're going to digitalize your enterprise. You haven't digitalized or haven't gone to the cloud yet, and do consider LINODE because of the three things, right, which I told you, which is if you want something simple to get started in your cloud journey, if you want the best price performance, like you are afraid of getting how to do it cost effectively, right? And for the great support you'll get in case you run into any issues. And today you can easily start up an account when you go to the website as well. Yeah. So that's the closing remark.
Silakan, Amanda.
Oke. Terima kasih atas narasumber kami. Thank you for our speaker today, Mr. Yin Chao Long from Akamai. Terima kasih Pak Funky yang telah menjadi moderator kami. Terima kasih para peserta kami yang sudah hadir pada siang hari ini untuk mendengarkan webinar kami. Silakan daftar ke webinar kami selanjutnya. Stay safe and healthy. God bless you. Sebelumnya, kami akan mengumumkan 3 pemenang OVO hari ini. Yang pertama ada Kak Eko Yuliawan. Selamat kepada Kak Eko Yuliawan. Yang kedua ada Kak Joni Aritonang. Selamat kepada Kak Joni Aritonang. Yang ketiga Kak Tegar Jaya Putra. Selamat kepada Kak Tegar. Silakan Pak Funky.
Ya, saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih sekali lagi pada teman-teman, especially Yin Chao and Christian Chandra from the Akamai LINODE team. Jadi saya undang lagi rekan-rekan untuk hadir dalam kegiatan kita tanggal 4 Oktober 4 Oktober minggu depan hari Selasa. Kenapa hari Selasa? Karena tanggal 5, 6, 7-nya kita ada event offline di Jakarta Convention Center. Itu silakan hadir rekan-rekan yang mau datang. Di sana ada pameran Smart City. Kami ada bikin sesi tanggal 6 Oktober terkait dengan implementasi Metaverse Jadi silakan teman-teman yang mau hadir secara fisik bisa bertemu dengan kami di lokasi acara tanggal 5, 6, 7 Tanggal 4 kita kembali bertemu dalam bentuk webinar Itu saja, saya tutup. Terima kasih rekan-rekan semua, tetap sehat, tetap semangat, sampai bertemu kembali di kegiatan kita selanjutnya. Terima kasih semua. Pak Widi, baru ketemu lagi.
Wah, sudah berapa tahun ini? Sorry, Pak.
Ya, oke Terima kasih semua.
Terima
kasih. Thank you, Yin Chao, Christian, thank you. Bye.